Hey there, it's Hillary, and today I'm going to be doing my July TBR. Now, for the month of June, I actually did pretty well. I read everything on my TBR except one book, which I started but didn't finish, and I actually read a couple of extra books. So this month, I'm sort of going to do the same thing. There are books that I have on here that I know that I'm going to be receiving from the library. I have about 9-ish books on my TBR, and we'll see what happens. Last month I read 10, so 9 is not too crazy of a thing since a couple of them are audiobooks. So the first two are ones that I'm currently working on. I am currently reading Ruin and Rising. I am on page 253, so I'm over halfway done. I started this one in June and it was on my June TBR, but I didn't get it finished. I'm really enjoying it so far. Can't wait to see how this story concludes. I'm actually halfway through the audiobook of Ash Princess. This is a book that I've been wanting to read since it came out. I think it came out last year, and I think they have like the second one set to come out. I am enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would from the synopsis of the story. So I'm excited to see where the story goes and if I end up really enjoying it when it's over and seeing like if there is a second one. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a second one, so we'll see what happens when I get to the end. But so far, I'm not enjoying it as much as I was anticipating. The next thing that I want to read for the month is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This book, it actually doesn't have the dust jacket on it, but this is actually our book for book club this month. Our book club meeting is on July 11th, so I'm going to have to read that one at the very beginning of the month. The next thing that I want to read is Everlist. I just saw the cover for the second book in this series, and I'm actually going to be getting Everlist from the library. I should be getting that in maybe 2 weeks, so midway through July I should be getting an ebook copy of that, and I'll be reading it when I get it, because I try to read my library books as soon as I get them. That way I can return them, and then if I'm in the middle of a book, then I usually will stop, unless I'm almost finished, I'll stop reading that one, read my library book, and then be able to send it back to the library. The next thing that I want to read is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I am going to be getting the second book in this book series from the library probably in the month of August. I think there's like 6 weeks or 8 weeks on my hold. I want to make sure that I'm able to read this one before I get my hold of the sequel. So I want to try to read this one in the month of July, and if I don't, then I'm going to shoot for reading it at the beginning of August. That way I make sure it's read before I get the second one. The next thing on my TBR, or the next couple things, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to. I should be getting my audiobook copy of The Dark Prophecy. That is the second book in the Trials of Apollo series, and I'm super excited to be getting that one, so I know that I'll be listening to that one as soon as I get it, because I'm loving Trials of Apollo. I've only read the one book that's on my shelf, but I'm loving it so far. I just think he's such a fun character, and I just love Rick Riordan, so that one I know I'll be listening to as soon as I get it. The others on my TBR, I'm not sure if I'll get to. So I would actually like to try to get to Flawed and Perfect this month. I have been wanting to read this dystopian duology, and I have both of the books now. I got Perfect not too long ago when Book Outlet was doing their sale, so I'm really hoping to get to this one soon. I've actually been reading quite a bit of dystopian, and I'm just loving all of what I'm reading so far, so I'm just really in the mood to read more dystopian. So I'm also trying to read more series that are on my shelf. So this one is one that's complete, and I'm gonna try to get to this one for the month of July. And the last one, talking about series that are on my shelf, this is a series that I want to read before the end of the year, so I want to start it this month, and that is the Narnia series. These books are not very long. They are super short and they're super easy to read. I have not read this series, but I started The Magician's Nephew before, and I almost had it completed, and I honestly don't know why I didn't finish it. I want to say like my mom wanted to borrow it or something, and I was like, okay, here, I'll let you borrow it and I'll finish it when you give it back. And then she had it for like months and I just didn't complete it. So I want to start this series this month and hopefully read a couple of the books over the next couple months and complete that series as well, because that is a series that I want to read before the end of the year. That series and the Mortal Instruments along with the Infernal Devices, I'd like to read that series now that I have like all of those books up there. I want to read that series before the end of the year as well. So those are my hopeful books for the month of July. I don't know if I'll get to all, I say 9, but the one is like a whole series, so that doesn't really count as a book because that's 7 books in itself. So I don't know if I'll get to all of those books. I have a feeling if I don't read the Narnia series this month, I'm really going to try to read it in August. And we'll see if my books change, because I think that usually they do Booktubeathon in July, so my book choices might change. And if it does, then my TBR obviously will change for like Booktubeathon. I know that I have some books on my shelf that I plan to read during Booktubeathon because they're shorter. So actually a couple of the Narnia books might be on there because they're on the shorter side. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. It depends on what the Booktubeathon challenges are. So those are the books that I hope to read for July. Let me know down in the comments what you hope to read for the month of July. And if you've read any of these books and you really enjoyed them, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave me a like. And if you'd like to see more videos by me, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video.